All right, so my last video on how I created a custom GPT so I could ask questions to my, dozen or so long form customer interviews. The questions I was asked after that video is, okay, that's cool. How do you create a custom GPT? How is that done at all? So we're going to go back up and actually show you how that process works. First of all, you need a Chat GPT Plus subscription. So just go to chat.openai.com, which you can see here, and sign up for the Plus. It's $20 a month. It is so worth it. I actually pay for Chat GPT, Anthropic, and Midjourney. They're $20 a month each. I get so much more than $60 for the value out of this every single month. I wouldn't even consider not paying for this. So first and foremost, do that. Then, why is this like this? Then you're going to click over here and see Explore GPTs. And over here you can see My GPTs. So I can go and see My GPTs. I've done a couple of things. So here I created Tax Buddy. And so when I was doing my taxes, I basically uploaded... It's always in the way. Basically uploaded all of the files of the instructions for the tax forms I was filling out. So this is the 1040. This is the Schedule C. This is the 8829. So instead of having to go dig through the instructions, which are anywhere from 10 to 50 pages long, I just uploaded it to a custom GPT and created something called Tax Buddy. And so whenever I had a question, I just asked this. And so, people say, oh, well, doesn't Chat GPT, hallucinate and make things up? Yeah, if I just ask it, straight off, like, what's the answer to this very specific tax question on form 1120? It might know the answer. It might not. The way that I think about this is like long-term versus short-term memory. If you've gone on vacation and recently, you can probably name the bars and restaurants and places you stayed and ate and all that other stuff pretty easily. But if you think about a vacation you went on a year or two ago, you just forget that stuff. And so what ChatGPT is similar to is it's read every book of all time, right? We don't know what information it has, but it has a boatload of it. You can assume that if you've read it, it has also read it. It's just the open internet. And that is in its long-term memory. That is the vacation information that is 1-2 years old. It knows stuff, but not like super well. And just like a human will make some stuff up or fib a little bit to answer the question and be helpful to you instead of just saying, I don't know. Humans have a fundamental problem with saying, I don't know. ChatGPT is very similar. Like, it has the same flaws that we do, where it's like, instead of just saying, I don't know the answer to that, it'll just make something up. And that's when you get a hallucination. And so putting the content in here is like adding it to short-term memory. Like, I just read this book, and so I can tell you with high confidence. And so that's why I feel pretty comfortable with pumping information into this and then asking about it. Now, it still isn't perfect, but it's better than, my brain by itself. So let's see the other GPTs I've got. This is the Better Legal Customer Insights. So all I did was, we can edit it, move this. Basically, I just gave it the instructions. Sometimes I just ask ChatGPT to write an instruction for me. So like, if I don't know what to write as a prompt, what I'll do is I will say, hey, I want to do this, make a prompt. So like, write a prompt for a custom GPT that will help someone plan a vacation, since we're talking about vacations. So like, I might not go exactly with this, but it gives me something to start with and then say like, oh, that's not what I want. And then you can edit it. So you can basically ask Chat GPT to write a prompt for a GPT, use it as your base, and then pump it in. And so that's what I did here. I didn't really know what I wanted, and so I just said, go ahead and write it for me. And I plan on updating this. But this was written by Chat GPT, which is probably why it's not that great. But I can edit it over time. But here are all of the text files that I uploaded to this. And those just came from riverside.fm, which is what we use to have the interviews. And so it doesn't actually have any of the video data. It just has this transcript. And the transcript looks like this. Chad talked at this timestamp. Max talked at this timestamp. Chad talked at this timestamp. And so when you have a transcript with these timestamps, you can get specific and say, when did someone say this? So I can say, give me some notable quotes and timestamps of the quotes where people like better legal. Okay, so Alex TXT, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. So if I go to Alex TXT, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. And here's a quote. Seemed like it was efficient, price was reasonable. Better legal seemed like it was efficient, price was reasonable. There it is. So it's just reading the PDF. It's just better at it than you are as a human. I've also built other GPTs as tests. This one, and so when you configure a GPT, you can give it these capabilities. So you can upload files, which are PDFs or TXT files or docs or spreadsheets, CSVs specifically. So not like, probably not, well, an Excel file is probably fine, but I would export it as a CSV if it's a spreadsheet. But you can give it like web browsing capabilities or image generation capabilities or code interpreter. Code interpreter is if you are going to upload a spreadsheet and you want it to do some analysis and give you like graphs and stuff. Code interpreter is what that is. I wouldn't mess with actions yet. I haven't played with that yet. But image generation is fun and web browsing is fun. So like this is something I built. I bought this domain name years ago, restlessnapkin.com, and it was a startup that failed many, many years ago. But I was like, okay, well, what if I have a GPT where I'm just like, what are the best places in Miami to get martini? And basically all I did was say like, hey, you're like a little travel bot where you tell people where to get information, but it has web browsing capability. So it knows, okay, well, martini in Miami, let's go browse and let's find some stuff. And then it just kind of brings it all back. And so here you go. And then I can say something fun like make a poster what should we call this outing? This is where the image generation gets fun. Martini Magic in Miami. Shaken and stirred in the sun. That's what we're doing. Okay. Let's create a poster for our outing called based on number 3. So I think I have instructions in there that's actually gonna like make like kind of like you'd see a bar poster where it's like on May 5th, we're gonna have, Derby de Mayo, it looks cool. And so I kind of made some prompt that kind of instructed it to do that. And so let's see if it does it properly. Yeah. Shaken and stirred in the sun. Big martini glass with Miami. What are these little things? What does this say? Momi and San Sardini, Miami Beach. This So it's like a 1960s something. It just made something up. Did it get any of these? It would have been interesting if it had written like Regent Cocktail Club, Sugar, Sweet Liberty. But like that's where you can kind of get ideas from this and say like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this as inspiration and I'm gonna like, you know, have a graphic designer like clean this up, make it actually say shaken and stirred in the sun, clean this up, and then actually put the names of the bars on here, and then there's your poster. So what else? I've done like here's one that I did that was fun. I need to start using these again. Come on. Okay, so here's what I did. I found out that if you, my GPTs, you can basically take a picture of a menu at a restaurant of the wine list and say, I'm going to have the duck. Upload the picture and say, which wine should I have? I was in Paris in October. I tested this out and it worked really, really well. I was at a conference in Paris in October and I was eating at a restaurant and I had the duck and the wine list, it was in French and I knew absolutely jack all of what was on the list. And so I just said, hey, here's the menu, here's the food menu. I'm having the duck. Here's the wine menu. Which wine should I have? And it gave me like 3 options and I just picked one. And so that's, if you're like me and you're kind of, have trouble deciding, it kind of helps you just narrow it down. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of inspiration on how to create GPTs and how to do that.